What's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome in to My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show. The best place for everything fantasy football. Every episode gets you one step closer to the goal of winning your fantasy football championship. From rankings, breakouts, sleepers, best ball drafts, DFS plays. If winning is your objective, this is the place to be. Let's piece the puzzle together and get you that trophy. Here's your host, SleezBall, right here on My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show.
Are you ready for some football?
We're ready for some football, baby.
Welcome into episode 19, everybody. I am your host, SleezBall. In today's episode, we're going to be going over my favorite tight ends in every single round. I'm going to go through 17 rounds. I'm going to try to keep each player under a minute. If you want to check out my full dive-in breakdown of the tight end with longer descriptions, you can check out my tight end video where I did all the rankings. Then I give a full breakdown of the players. This one's going to be a minute short, so it's not going to be a long video. It'll be about 30 minutes. Now, if you build your roster, hero running back, wide receiver, 3 running backs early, wide receiver early, this is my favorite tight end to draft at value per round to help you guys build that roster to get you to the playoffs and get you that ultimate goal of a championship. And before we dive into it, guys, let me know who your tight end 1 overall is going to be this year in the comments, because the top 5 tight ends are very tough. I'm locked in on mine, but I'd love to debate it with you guys, who you guys are, what your opinions are. It always helps me, content-wise, everything else. Now, before we start it, guys, make sure you smash that like and subscribe. All the support is appreciated. Try to bring you the best fantasy football content to help you win them championships, and let's dive into it. My number 1 tight end overall. Obviously, you're not going to take a tight end in the first round, so this is hypothetical right here. If I had to take a tight end in the first round, give me Trey McBride all day, every day. He is my tight end 1. I've been pumping this guy for years now. He finally hit the scene last year. He only came in about week 8, so he played with, Josh Dobbs for 2 games. Then he got Kyler Murray off of ACL week 10. He went from tight end 30 to tight end 9 over that span with Kyler Murray. Now you're going to have Kyler Murray healthy this year. Marvin Harrison Jr. to take the top off. James Conner back healthy. Trey Benson behind him. This offense is going to have to score massive, massive points to keep up because their defense ranks dead last. And Trey McBride is going to see over 100 receptions, over 10 touchdowns, and have an absolute monster year. Again, you're not going to take a tight end in the first round. This is a hypothetical because there's really no ADP for a tight end to go in the first round. But if I had to, this is my guy. At the end of the second round, the tight end you're going to want to snag is Travis Kelce, currently going off the board ADP 29, finished tight end 3 last year, 93 receptions, 984 yards, 5 touchdowns. Now, he was playing hampered all last year. You could tell by the way he was running grit, grinding it out, which you have to love. He is getting older. I get that if you're thinking, oh, father time is going to kick in. It just doesn't with this man. I know they have more weapons now in Marquise Brown. Rashee Rice looks like he's not going to be suspended. They draft Xavier Worthy. It looks like the target share is going to be a little more spread out. But Patrick Mahomes' focal point is always Travis Kelce and the Swifties. I expect this red zone TD numbers to jump up back into 10 this season. He will have 1,000 yards. He will have over 100 receptions. This man is going to be an absolute smash value and a very, very good draft strategy to get in the second round if you're looking to stack Patrick Mahomes in the 4th or the 5th as well. Heading into round 3, the tight end you're going to want to target here is the Laporta Saporta for my guy, Big Draft Energy. Shout out to him and his YouTube page. Sam Laporta was a rookie last year out of Iowa U. Literally finished tied in 1, which is absolutely bananas for a rookie. 86 receptions, 889 yards, and 10 TDs, right? This season, I am going to be seeing a little regression, which is why I have him 3rd off the board. To repeat twice like this is crazy. The Jamison Williams hype for a breakout is coming from camp. All the coaches say he's electric out there. He will jump into that target share. Amon-Ra is still going to feast. He was a top 3 wide receiver last year. And they have Jahmyr Gibbs moving in the slot too, they're talking about this season. So a lot of the focal point that he got last season with Amon-Ra drawing all the doubles, I think it's going to be spread out more this season. I still like him a ton. I don't have him above the other guys purely based on volume change this year. Round 4, you're going to want to target the big man, Mark Andrews. Always has little, knick-knack injuries that kind of scare you away. Finished last season tight end 13, 45 receptions, 544 yards, 6 touchdowns. Was out with injury, took that dirty shot to the knee. He does, the scary thing with him is not just the injury, it's also the fact that he has the diabetes. So every time he gets a little injury, it's always double the time for recovery with him, and he's getting older in age. So all this man has to do is literally stay healthy. And with the Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson RPO, Zay Flowers as their gadget player, I fully believe this man will be back to a 30% target share and absolutely feast this season, and has a legit chance to be tight end 1. This man always does every time he's out there. You just have to worry about the injury risk. But in the 4th round, this value is, I'm taking this all day every time I'm there, 24/7. Heading into round 5, oh my goodness, this is one of my favorite tight ends to draft in Dalton Kincaid. Coming off his rookie year last year, was tight end 12, 73 receptions, 673 yards, 2 touchdowns. Now he is going to be the focal point of this offense. You have Stephon Diggs out of town, Gabe Davis out of town. They draft Keon Coleman. They bring in Curtis Samuel. Who do you think is going to see over 120 targets at tight end? It is going to be Dalton Kincaid. The tight end, the touchdown numbers that he has of 2 will go up to the 7 or 8 range. I fully believe that. This man is going to absolutely feast this year, especially in PPR. He's going to see so much volume that it's going to be crazy. And I may be even willing to go up to the 4th round to get this guy, just because I think he's going to see so much work this season. Heading into round 6, this is where I'm going to give you 2 tight ends. This is the only round that I'm going to give you 2 tight ends out of the whole 17 rounds. And the one I'm going to start with here is George Kittle, diddle, down the middle. My guy finished last year as tight end 5, currently going off the board at ADP 63, 65 receptions. Still had 1,000 yards on 65 receptions. You know why? Because he's an absolute yak monster when he gets the ball in the open field. 6 touchdowns. Now, this value you're looking at right now, like if you're drafting anytime soon, you smash this value right now, because we don't know the Brandon Ayuk situation or what's happening. And if Brandon Ayuk is gone, this man's value is probably going to jump up to about round 4, maybe beginning of round 5. So you're getting an absolute steal price right now. You know he can take any ball there is for a touchdown, break 3 tackles, have a 3 touchdown game. Best ball, redraft, dynasty. I want everything to do with George Kittle this season 100%, and you should too. The second tight end you're going to want to target in round 6, yes, I am saying his name, Kyle Pitts. Currently going off the board, ADP 61. Finished last season tight end 14, 53 receptions, 667 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And that was with Desmond Ridder and Taylor Heineke for a couple games here and there. Now you enter Kirk Cousins. Have you seen what Kirk Cousins does with TJ Hockenson? Imagine what he's going to do with Kyle Pitts. Last year, I was completely out on Kyle Pitts, saying everybody do not draft him. The value is too high. Now, for the first time in 3 years, I am okay with this man's value. I love the pick here. They're lining him up in the slot. They're moving him all over the place. Arthur Smith is gone. We're going to see a whole new offensive scheme here. Kyle Pitts could actually legit be a league-winning tight end at this value, and I know that's crazy to say, but I am on board with drafting him here this season. Heading into round 7, this is my favorite tight end to target, which is why I have a number 3 next to his name up there, because I am willing to go up 3 rounds to get Evan Ingram. His value makes absolutely no sense to me at all. Let me tell you why. Currently going off the board at ADP 73. Finished last season as tight end 2. There's your first check mark. 114 receptions. It says attempts. That's wrong. 963 yards, 4 touchdowns. This man was 2 receptions away from breaking the NFL record for tight end receptions last season, held by Zach Ertz, which he is going to break this year 100%. Calvin Ridley's 135 vacating targets are gone. He's in Tennessee. Now you get Brian Thomas Jr. and rookie hype. Yeah, I like Brian Thomas a lot, but he's not going to feast in early. This is going to be the Evan Ingram, Christian Kirk show early, and Evan Ingram is going to absolutely bully ball this freaking season. He is my favorite tight end to build my roster around. If I go 3 running backs, 3 tight ends, or 3 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, and then I get Ingram, or I could grab a quarterback in there as well. I love to build my roster around Evan Ingram. This man is going to go bananas. Heading into round 8, if you miss on Evan Ingram, this is my second favorite tight end to build your roster around. Jake Ferguson. Fergalicious this season is going to go absolutely bananas. Now, the Cowboys, we don't know CeeDee Lamb's even holdout situation. What if he misses the first 4 games? Jake Ferguson's going for a massive workload, right? I fully believe they will get CeeDee signed, so let's not go down that road. But last season, this man led all tight end and red zone targets. He was 4th in the entire NFL in red zone targets, with wide receivers included. The Dallas Cowboys running back room now has Ezekiel Elliott and Rico Dowdle. Their run game has lost 2-star linemen as well. This is going to be a full air attack from the Cowboys, and CeeDee Lamb draws doubles, sometimes even a safety over the top with the doubles. Jake Ferguson is going to be running free, seeing a crazy amount of workload. And I could honestly see, so last season he was tight end 8. I could see him as a top 5 tight end this season. 100%, absolutely smash this value every time you see it. In round 9, Dallas Goedert is one of those. Can he get back to being Dallas, or can he not? And I really, really like this value here, because you're going to have the Kellen Moore fast-paced, top 5 speed offense going here. There is a lot of mouths to feed with A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith. They bring in Saquon Barkley, which is going to draw a lot of attention to help the pass game. Last year, finished as tight end 15, 59 receptions, 592 yards, 3 touchdowns. Currently going off the board, ADP 111. Now, if any injury happens to this team, he boosts up, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, whatever it is. He is a injury little knick-knack, misses 3 to 4 games, 2-3 games here as well, so that's also scary. But if he can stay healthy in this new offensive regime that you're going to see, this can be an absolute league-winning value. And because he's in about round 10, if you take Jalen Hurts, say round 3 or 4, this is a very, very easy stack play to pull off. Round 10 comes the high-risk, high-reward play here. So TJ Hockenson, currently going off the board, ADP 118, finished last season tight end for 95 receptions, 960 yards, 5 touchdowns. All that you love, except he took a massive major injury at the end of the season last year, late in the season, so it's going to lead into this year. It looks like he's going to open the season on the PUP. There's a couple reports of, this is all up in the air. None of this is official. He may not be healthy till playoff time or 90% with his injury. There's reports saying that he's doing good in camp and he's ahead of his rehab process. But I look at it like this. The Vikings have a very, very, very tough schedule. Their bye is week 6, right? So if they bring him back off the bye, week 7, is he going to be tempered his expectations? Are they going to use him, a little bit here? Of course they're going to do it at the start. But what if the Vikings are like 1-7 heading down the stretch? How much TJ Hockenson are you really going to see this season? These are scary factors to me, but at his value, I'm 100% willing to take this risk, because this man is a superstar tight end that you can get in round 10, which is insane. Heading into the 11th round, if you missed out on the value earlier in the 10th, 9th, and the 8th, Pat Freiermuth is a startable tight end for you weekly. He was hampered by injuries last year. There was also terrible, terrible play in Pittsburgh. Kenny Pickett went down. It was all shambles. So his numbers look a little skewed. But what you have to like is the target share volume percent that he is going to get this season. We don't know the Brandon Ayuk news yet. So obviously if Brandon Ayuk and Pickens are there, it's going to take away from Pat Freiermuth. But I don't think Ayuk's going anywhere with the updates that I'm seeing today. So this man is going to see about a 26% target share with the tight ends around him. That is insane volume that you want. And you're going to have Russell Wilson or Justin Fields, whoever wins the QB battle, and he's going to be a productive starting tight end weekly. Arthur Smith, now the offensive coordinator, it didn't really work out that well for Pitts last year with him. But again, that's the bad quarterback play with Desmond Ridder. Now you have Hall of Fame talent in Russell Wilson or Justin Fields again. And I firmly believe that Pat Freiermuth can be a startable tight end that you can snag in round 11, which is insane value. Heading into round 12, if you already drafted your tight end and you're looking for a tight end 2 and a possible backup that could be a starting tight end play weekly, I'd look for Luke Musgrave at ADP 143. Last year finished as tight end 31, 34 receptions, 352 yards, 1 touchdown. Looked good when he came out until the injury, right? So the injury derailed his season. The reason I call him a tight end 2 or a backup tight end is because there's so many mouths to feed in Green Bay. You're going to have Romeo Doubs. You're going to have Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, Dontavian Wicks. Even Bo Melton's getting hype in camp. So the volume share here is nowhere near Pat Freiermuth last round. Like I'm saying, you're going to be able to start him weekly. This is a touchdown-dependent play. Or if you have an injury happen, he would be a backup tight end that I would like to throw in there. I don't have him as a starting tight end, production-wise, but he can have spike weeks weekly, which could help you win your matchups that week. Heading into round 13, now this one is absolutely crazy to me, guys. Hunter Henry is a startable tight end weekly. So currently going off the board at ADP 163. Last season finished tight end 18, 42 receptions, 419 yards, 6 touchdowns. We all know the Patriots were in absolute shambles last year. They bring in Drake May, but here's the crazy thing that you have to look at. Their wide receiver room consists of KJ Osborne, Juju Smith-Schuster, Javon Baker, Jalen Polk. This guy is going to be the security blanket for a rookie quarterback and is probably going to see the most targets on the Patriots team, and he's being drafted like he's not. This is insane value that you can get in round 13, and Hunter Henry can get 2 touchdown game anytime. He will be the red zone threat. He's going to be the security blanket for Drake May. He's probably going to see 100 targets this season, and he's going in round 13. This is a smash play. If you punt tight end all the way in your drafts, I'm honestly okay with starting Hunter Henry in the 13th round at tight end. In round 14, the tight end you should be targeting is Taysom the Joker Hill. So this man was tight end 10 last year. You're going to look at his numbers here, 33 receptions, 291 yards, 2 touchdowns. He doesn't do a lot in the passing game, but we all know that he runs the ball like a maniac. He will see goal line touches. Alvin Kamara only had 5 touchdowns last year on the ground every time they get to the red zone. The scary part for me this year with him, though, and why I have him a lot lower, why he's currently on the ADP board a lot lower, he is older in age. He will be turning 34. Plus, they also have Jamal Williams. And Jamal Williams, remember when he was the Lions 2 years ago, he had 17 touchdowns in the goal line for the Lions, just as the red zone back. So I am a little tempered expectation. The camp updates that they're using Taysom Hill all over the place. Yes, you like to hear that. He's always that scary 0, though. And that's why it's always a risky pick for me with him, is you can either get a 20-point game or you can get a 0. And you can get 5 zeros in a row, which can be really, really bad. And if Kendre Miller's back, how much are they really going to use Taysom Hill? I don't know, but I like to stash him as a tight end 2 on my roster 100%. In round 15, the tight end you want to target here is Tyler Conklin, currently going off the board at ADP 174. Finished last year as a top 20 tight end, but what you have to like here is the volume. 61 receptions and 621 yards. Yeah, he didn't find the end zone. This is with Zach Wilson at quarterback, okay? You have to just put that in your head and just throw everything else away that you saw from the Jets because he's absolutely terrible. If A-Rod can stay healthy, this offensive line is a top 5 offensive line to protect him. If the defense is out there, it's a top 5 defense to get them the ball back, more and more opportunities to score. Also, when it comes fantasy winter time, the defense will be even better in the cold. They'll get more opportunities there is. It all hinges on A-Rod 100% with this entire offense to me, honestly. But at least this year, if something happens to A-Rod, you still have Tyrod Taylor instead of Zach Wilson. So I really like Tyler Conklin as a tight end 2 stash. That could be a touchdown-dependent plug-and-play. If you needed a bye week or injury, I'm not totally against it with Tyler Conklin. I like his value here. In round 16, Isaiah Likely. So the ADP up there is wrong. He's going off the board at 216. I didn't change it on the graphic. Finished last season tight end 25, 30 receptions, 411 yards, 5 TDs. I could talk about this guy for ages, but I have a minute that I want to keep it cut to. Mark Andrews' injury history, we all know. Look what Isaiah Likely did when Mark Andrews was out. He was a tight end one startable play weekly. That's always there. Okay, now you have updates from the Ravens this season saying that Isaiah Likely is going to be the second option on this team. If that is an actual true update, this value should be shot up 3 to 4 rounds. Plus, you get the injury upside of Mark Andrews that's always been there. I'm not wishing an injury on him or anything like that, but it is there. And if you can get this guy this late in the draft, this is an absolute smash draft pick that could be an insane league winner for titles this year. In round 17, it is my favorite tight end to get my second tight end in the draft. It is Galani Woods, the man meat himself, a little nickname we made for him over streams. So Galani Woods last year, I had high expectations for this guy. Okay, I had like a prediction of 10 touchdowns. He got hurt in camp with his hamstring, never played a snap. Okay, what you have to know with this guy right here is that of every single tight end in the NFL in the history that has done a relative athletic score, this is the #1 most athletic tight end in NFL history. This man is 6'8", and he can move like a gazelle. He has great hands, and he's going to be in an offense with Pittman, Downs, who got injured. We know that. They get a Donovan Mitchell. You have Jonathan Taylor. You have a top offensive line. You have Anthony Richardson back at quarterback. This man could absolutely feast in the red zone. And I predicted 10 touchdowns last year. I'm even going bold this season, and I'm going to call 8. He just needs to get up on the depth chart back from his injury. I know he's number 3 on the depth chart right now. But this could be an absolute smash value play that no one is talking about, and I love this pick a ton. That's it for episode 19, guys. My tight ends to draft in every round to build your roster around to help you win a championship, to find value that there is that you don't see at tight end. I hope this guy's helped you a ton. As always, make sure you smash that like and subscribe. All the support is appreciated. My next video will be quarterbacks round by round. Obviously, the round one's going to be the same as this. So when you look at this video again in round 1, don't worry about that. That's just my favorite tight end. You're not taking Trey McBride in the first round, right? Next video with the quarterbacks will be the same thing. You're not going to really take a quarterback in the first round, but I'm going to dive into the quarterback that I would take #1 if I had that opportunity, and then break down all the quarterbacks for you as we go. And that's it for me today, guys. I will catch you in the next episode. Thanks for listening. Thanks for all the support. And if you guys have any comments, questions, anything fantasy football, fire them in there. I try to answer everything as fast as I can. And I'll see you guys in the next episode, man. SleezBall out.